Good morning, and hope you all have been well. In today's video, I am going to be showing you guys how to get the Renegade route for Pokemon Rejuvenation version 13.5. So first of all, I do know that I did make a video on this topic about a year or so ago. On that one, I went more in depth with everything that I chose to do in order to get the Renegade route. But since that was a more older video, and I've gotten quite a few new comments on the Paragon and the Renegade series asking for me to explain and make a video on how to make the Renegade route, I feel like it's just much more easy to make a brand new video explaining everything on how to go about it. So yeah, I also know that there are a few key events that play out differently depending on the choices that you make during the Renegade route. I won't go into those specifically right now. Later within the video, I will. But on those two events, I will ask for some of your guys' help. Even I don't know the choices on more so one of the two events on what choices that are required in order to make that happen. So, yeah, but if I don't get any comments on that, that's totally fine. I will do my own research on my own time and put up a spoiler warning explaining those key events and the choices that you need to make on how to get that to happen in the comment section below. But, anyways, before I get into that, I want to finish up the introductions here. So, I guess like the final thing that I want to say real quick is if you have any other questions about the Renegade route or for any other rejuvenation questions, I guess, do not hesitate to ask. I am more than happy to help out players. I know I've gotten quite a few comments here and there. One somewhat specifically being like, I promise, last question. Do not hesitate to ask. I am more than happy to help out. That's what this channel is all about. I love talking to you guys about theories, helping you guys, and all that kind of stuff. It brings me great joy to be able to help out players that very much enjoy the game. So, yeah. Anyways, though, on to how to get into the Renegade route. There are two ways to get into the Renegade route. One of them is a brand new way that is a password, actually. Now, with that being said, that is the most easy way and the most convenient way to get into the Renegade route. But there is a price to pay for convenience. I will get into that in a moment. But the second option and the second way in order to get into the Renegade route is to start a brand new game from start to finish. Depending on what you want to do, your life situations and whatnot, clearly one is better than the other. I feel like a lot of people, depending on what you have going on, the more convenient way is probably the best way for you to get into the Renegade route. But if you are more on the patient side and don't mind starting a brand new game file, then the second option is right for you. Me personally, I prefer the second one. I'm all about replaying the game. I'm all about being patient and taking my time with it. But again, life happens, school, work, or maybe you just don't want to play a second, third, or fourth game file. Totally fine, totally understandable. Just choose the options that work best for you. So, what I'm going to do is pause here and we are going to be opening up a brand new game file and I'm going to explain everything that's required for the first option, and I will go more in depth on the price to pay for convenience. Alrighty, so once you have opened up a game of Rejuvenation, of course you are going to want to click A, go to a new game. Now, you can skip the prologue, you don't have to worry about that, or if you want to play through it, that's totally fine, up to you. Normally, I always play through the prologue on every game file, but since this is a tutorial video, we're going to go on ahead and skip that. Story mode, classic mode, it does not matter what you choose. You could choose whatever you want. For the video's sake, story mode. So you can skip through all of this or read it on your own time if you wish to do so. Choose the gender that you want to choose. You can again choose either or, it's up to you. To keep it simple, we'll just choose a random character. You can choose Anna as well. The password for that is 9494 if you want to play as her. Again, it doesn't really matter, just choose what you want. We'll go with Avis, for example. For kicks and giggles, I'm going to name you Bucket. So once you go through this, kind of skip through that, but do not skip the password. On the Pokemon Reborn Discord, there is a link to that on the Reborn website. I would highly advise you join that Discord if you wish to do so. There is going to be a Rejuvenation section, and there's going to be a specific channel called Rejuve Guides. Click on that, and once you scroll up, there's going to be a guide thing that says passwords. I would highly advise going through the passwords. If you play this game multiple times and you want to mess around with some certain stuff, make things easier, go for a more challenging run, the passwords are going to be very, very good for you. But there is one in particular that allows you to skip on ahead and choose to be locked into the Paragon or the Renegade route. This is where I said it before, that this is the most easy and convenient way to get yourself locked into the Renegade route. Now, just a fair warning, the moment that you type in the password, you will not be able to put in any other password. So if you want to go about it like this, it is wise to get all the passwords that you want to add into the game first, and then type in Terrajuma. Terrajuma is the password that allows you to get locked into the Renegade route, so please keep that in mind. Now, there are some setbacks and a price to pay for convenience, like I brought up before. I'm going to read through the disclaimer here, and then I'm going to go into a whole nother thing that this doesn't even bring up. Disclaimer, using this password will not complete every quest up to this point. Any quest that has been expired will automatically be completed depending on your own route preference. So I can't 100% guarantee this because even I don't know it. I'm going to safely assume on the Paragon route, I'm going to hopefully assume that all side quests are done and completed. Now, on the friendship point side, I don't know. I want to hope that it gives you max friendship starting at Terrajuma on the Paragon route. I don't know. And with the Renegade route, I don't know if it's max friendship or everything's at 0 or in the negatives. I don't know. So please keep that in mind. Using this password will start you off at the beginning of Terrajuma. Warning, activating the Terrajuma password will end password input. You will not be able to activate more passwords before beginning the game. Are you sure you want to activate the password? So you're going to want to go ahead and activate it. And here's a little pop-up that you can start on the Paragon or the Renegade route. Again, if you just want to skip through the game, start off at Terrajuma and play the Paragon route, there you go. But of course, most of you are probably here to see a guide for the Renegade route. This is the easiest way to go about it. Now, another disclaimer that I want to get into, well, a few more technically, but another one is the Help Center request. Again, on the Renegade route, I'm going to safely assume that they are not completed. The best thing that I can tell you is with the Karen and Karina side quest. That is one of the two main events that can play differently within the Renegade route towards version 13.5 story. I would highly recommend once you get to Kakuri Village, there should be a guy on a boat. It's going to cost some money to go back to East Garden City. Pay him go back, check the help center request, and I would highly advise checking the specific one. What is it? Hidden library. You might have to do the Starlight quest first in order to get to it. I forgot if you did or did not have to do that, but either way, if you need to, start up that. No, that's right. You do have to, because that's how you get Karen to appear. Start up the Starlight quest and then get into the Hidden Library 1. And then at Sheridan, you want to do the second Hidden Library quest. You don't have to do any other quest. And then the third library within West Giran, but that's a little bit later within the game. You have to complete all three, of course, to get the Karen and Karina side quest, and that's how you get the whole event with Karen and Karina. I'm not going to get into the details of that until the second part of this video and the second option for you guys, because that's when I'm going to get more in depth with the point system and all of that. For now, I want to keep the first part easy and simple. So again, to summarize everything on that end, Terrajuma is the password in order to get the Renegade route the easiest way. If you want to try to play it out without checking anything, that's up to you. I, for one, would rather be safe. Check out East Giran City, check the Starlight quest, check the Hidden Library. If they're not completed, go ahead and do it. If they are completed, then I would check the Hidden Library number 2 just to double check. Again, even I don't know if those two specifically are completed or not within the Renegade route, if you choose to go about it like this. Now, another thing on the price to pay to have convenience is you will have to go back, most likely, to Golden Leaf and Sheridan and Giran City and all of that to recapture certain Pokemon. You will be given a team of level 40s, so do not worry, but most likely you are going to have to go back to recapture certain Pokemon and whatnot. You are going to miss out on a few things, most likely, like event Pokemon and whatnot, but again, that's the price for convenience. Overall, by going about it like this, sure, there are a few setbacks, but you save a boatload of time going about it like this. And if that's what works best for you, then that's what works best for you. Alright, sorry for the pause there, and one final thing before we get into the second option of the video. Future events, future side quest. Yes, technically, if you do this, from what I can understand, you are locked into the Renegade route. Technically, you don't have to worry about points. I'm like 90% sure of that. Somebody can correct me and let me know if I'm wrong on that. However, similar to the Karina quest and all of that, and that all requires the Hidden Library to be done, you still most likely are going to have to go about the whole Florin situation and make the right choices for that whole event. I don't know specifically if you can save Garbodor, save Hippowdon, save Amber, and still stay locked in with the Renegade route. I assume technically yes, you can do all of that with this, and that's honestly somewhat interesting. But for me, I feel like it may be wise to play it safe and still not save Amber, not save Garbodor, not save Hippowdon, and do some of those choices still. If you don't want to and you want to test out the waters and see if it works out for you, by all means try it. I don't think it's worth the risk, because getting to the very end of the game takes a lot of time. Well, more so to the Nightmare Realm. It takes a lot of time to get to that point, and I would hate it to be a thing that you are technically locked in, but since you didn't do those required things and you technically didn't get to the 100 points, that it doesn't activate for you. Again, I'm like 90% sure you probably don't have to worry about that, but I would rather play it safe than sorry. That's just where I'm coming from. The choice is yours completely. And again, I cannot confirm or deny that you can still save Amber, save the rest of the Pokemon and whatnot, and still be on the Renegade route. I cannot confirm or deny that. I simply don't know. So, anyways, though, before we get into the second option, I want to summarize everything here now. Password is Terrajuma. That's how you get onto the Renegade route the easiest way. There are some setbacks. Please input the other passwords before Terrajuma if you wish to do so. You will have to go back to older areas if you want to recapture certain Pokemon. A lot of events, of course, are probably going to be skipped out throughout the beginning of the game. I cannot confirm or deny if friendship points are maxed on the Paragon route or negative points on the Renegade route, or vice versa. I don't know if it's even like neutral, like flat out zero. I don't know how that all works with this password in particular. I also don't know about the hidden library. The best way to go about that is to go back to East Garden City and try it out. And for future side quests, not side quests, for future events like the whole Saving Amber, Hippowdon, Rift Garbodor, the whole Florin thing, and other stuff, I would safely assume that it is wise to still go about it and not save Amber, not save a lot of those other people. Florin will get into more specifically because that gets into a whole nother thing. But for the most part, I feel like you should still go about it like that. If you are feeling a little risky and you want to try it, by all means, try it. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but again, I can't confirm or deny it, and I would rather not risk it, and I would hate for you guys to get so far and it doesn't work out. I think that's pretty much it. Again, if there's something I forgot or something that I messed up, please correct me. And if you have any questions, let me know. I am more than happy to help you out and answer any questions that I can. So, with that out of the way, we're going to get into the second option. Alrighty, so we are going to be getting into the second option. This one is going to be the most time consuming and the more patient route. Again, like I brought up earlier, everybody's different, and that's totally fine. Choose what works best for you. I prefer the more safe and long route, but of course, depending on everybody's preferences and life stuff going on and whatnot, the first option may be the best thing for you. Anyways, though, this is where things get a little bit tricky because you will need to be doing some math and probably needing a calculator depending on how you want to go about it. Before I do get into this, I want to give credit to Punch. I believe that is the person that created this guide during version 13. I am not aware of a new updated one for version 13.5 until that is released. I'm going to be using this guide, so again, credit to them and thanks to them for making this guide possible. So, again, going back into it, it is going to require some math, probably a calculator, so yeah. Now, another thing that I have to say before I get into this, I can't tell you what you want. I don't know how you want to go about this. There may be different scenes, different events that you're going to want to do and see, and on your own time, you're going to have to do the math in order to get to the 100 point marker in order to get the bad ending. And that's something I forgot to say earlier, and I'll say that now. You need 100 points in order to get the bad ending. I will explain everything as best as I can and to describe the point system, how it works and whatnot. But again, with choices that you want to make within the game, that's up to you, and you're going to have to do the math on your own time. Everybody's different. Everybody wants the Renegade route to play different in their own way. I can't specifically, like do the math and all for you. I mean, technically, yes, I can. If you really wanted to, like, I don't know, comment it in the comment section below. But it'll be a minute before I even like get back to you. So I would advise just do it on your own time. But anyways, though, with that out of the way, um, I don't know, like I don't want that to like sound like rude either, of course, but it's just I understand that like there are different events that play out. Everybody's like preferences are different on how they want theirs to play out and what scenes they want to see. And I can't do everybody's like math, if that's fair to say. If like people are asking about that. But anyways, I am here to of course describe how to go about it. So um I guess like a good example, for example, is I said that twice. Sorry. I'll do it a third time. So, for example, um, somebody was commenting on a recent video, and he or she was the main reason that I decided to get into this video, similar to other people asking about this. So he used the old guide and did everything that I did, except for Karina. As you can see, Karina is 20 points. Within my game file, I got up to 110 on the bad ending. He followed everything besides Karina. Now, of course, 110 minus 20, that's 90 points. He or she was 10 points short of the bad ending. You have to keep in mind the whole math thing. The math thing is super important. I just kind of wanted to bring that up again. So, going into the, and by the way, hopefully you don't mind me using you as like an example. If you do, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. But, anyways, though, so these main points here, forget about karma, forget about like reputation points. We're not talking about that right now. These ones right here, the ones that I'm circling around, all of these add up to a total of 90 points. Now, I will get into the diamond thing in a moment, but for now, everything here adds to 90 points. The majority of the points, something that I brought up on that game file, on that video, is if you do all of these, you pretty much are at the finish line. It takes very little to get over the hurdle. However, this is where we get into the tricky territory with Karina, Karen, and Florin. Those events that can somewhat play differently. And again, it all depends on how you want to go about it. So for now, let's keep it simple. What I would advise if you are starting over and you want to go through everything and play the game normally, but you want to go for the Renegade route, let's keep it simple for now. I would advise not, and by the way, you have to do some of these things because if I'm not mistaken, by let's say you have negative points with all of these people, let's just say that, and you have, I don't know, very little of this. Honestly, I don't even now know how you can even get this. You really have to go out of your way to do that. But most likely you're not going to get plus 75 for this thing unless you really wanted to, I guess. But yeah, chances are most likely you are not going to have a combination of this and this alone in order to get to the 100 points. Again, unless you really go out of your way to do this, then technically yes, you can, but most aren't going to do that. But yeah, anyways, I would just highly advise doing some of these. Again, it's easy to do. They give you the majority of the points. But anyways, let me get back on track. So I would advise not doing Garbodor. That's 10. Not saving the Rift Hippowdon. That's 20. Not saving Amber. That's 30. Sorry, voice crack there. Distant time segment. I would highly advise trying to escape on version 13, going for the hand diamond to not Marini. Who the hell's Marini? Oh, that I'm thinking of Sword and Shield. Melanie, sorry. Once you give the thing to Melanie, if I'm not mistaken, you get soft locked within the oh, whatchamacallit. No, Marini's the Pokemon. Marnie is the Sword Shield one. Anyways, besides the point. Um, I believe he got soft locked during the whole um like chair thing within that area, so I'm gonna safely assume it's best to go with the fake diamond one. Try to escape with it. So with that, that's 35 points. We're gonna skip out on Florin and the Karina thing. Let's not worry about those two for now. So with that being said, on those points specifically, you will have a total of 35 points total towards the bad ending. Getting into Florin, that is completely up to you. Depending on if you want him dead, that would equate to 55 points total. If you want him alive and you want the whole confrontation with, spoiler warning, Talon and Florin, you do not want to kill him. Now, how to get Florin killed? That is one of the two questions that I had at the beginning of the video. It has changed from what I can tell. I do not know if you are supposed to go with not showing him the rest of the videotape and going with Flora is how you get him killed, or if you have to show him the tape and go with Flora and that gets him killed. I don't know. I will do my own research if I don't really get any comments on how to get his death. But if I do get a comment on somebody explaining everything, please refer to them. So, yeah. But again, unfortunately, I do not know, or yeah, I just don't know what the new version on how to go about it, because it is different than this one here, because it says exposing dark light to Cassandra. From what I can remember, unless like you make different choices, then you get the scene with Cassandra. That might be an indicator then that has stayed the same. But if you show him everything and not go with Flora, that doesn't become a thing. That might be what it is. But either way, I'll wait for somebody to comment down below. If I don't get a comment on that, that's totally fine. I'll do my own research and make my own spoiler thing for you guys when I find the information. So that is one of the two events that I'm going to get into. The second one is Karen and Karina's death. That goes into the second question. And that was the main thing that the one viewer was asking about. That they wanted to save Karina in order to get a certain Pokemon. I do not know if you need Karen alive or not during that quest. I do not know if you need her to make that event happen with M2, the Pro Tag, and I'll just say it. You get a Diancie apparently by doing all of that. I don't know the scene yet. I'll have to watch somebody go about that, because even I don't even know what it is, but apparently that's how you get Diancie, and that's what they were looking to get by saving her. So, sorry, that's my fish tank. But anyways, yeah, if you do kill Karen and you're good with that, then that gets you to 45 points. And if you kill off whatchamacallit, Karina, that gets you, I believe, what, 70 points total for the bad ending. So yeah, but again, that's up to you. If you want to kill off Karen and keep Karina alive, assuming that killing Karen is okay, but keeping Karina safe is how you get Diancie, then there you go. You could just do the math on your own time, like I brought up before, but I'm just trying to go through it simply with you guys. Overall, by doing the majority of these points, let's say if you did everything, it should equate to 85 points total, not doing the 10 points for the hand the diamond over. Again, everybody's going to be different. Everybody wants to go about it in their own way. You'll have to do the math, but no matter what, you have to get to the 100-point mark no matter what. So besides the major stuff, let me get into the karma points next. So for the karma points, when it goes from 0 to -10 to -20 to 10 to 25 to 35, etc., etc., that is the amount of side quest that you can do within the game itself. So, for example, on my game file, I believe I did, if I'm not mistaken, I think I did 9 or 10 total. I don't remember actually. I don't remember. Let me see. I don't want to scroll down and see some stuff, like commenter stuff. You know, I bet I have it in my notebook actually. Give me a second actually. Alright, sorry for the pause there. Yeah, I did 9 total. So, for example, on this, let's say um, I did 4 side quests total within the game. Only 4, that's it. You get plus 25 for the bad ending. So, for example, let's say you want to let's say you want Florin dead, for example, plus 20, but you want to keep Karina alive. Add that all up and then add 25 points to that, for example. So if you do the math right, 65, 25, 90, for example, because I'm doing 85, let's say I want Karina alive but Florin dead, you just subtract 20, that's 65, plus 25, that gets you 90 points total. That's pretty much how it works. Now, of course, with karma points, I don't even know how you get like negative like karma for those events. I don't know honestly. I don't know how. But I guess there is a way if you literally don't see. That's like the tricky thing though. I mean, like I guess like the only way to go about it is like certain like people's deaths, for example. I guess that's how you can get like bad ending calcs for like the negative points, but most likely you are going to stay within the realm of 0 and 10 most likely. Let's just safely assume that. But of course, even if you want to save Karina, for example, using the one guy's example, you want to save Karina, you did everything else 65 plus 25 with the karma points, that's only 90. You need 10 more total in order to get the bad ending. And yeah, so hopefully with like the karma points that makes sense. To go for like another example, um, let's see here. Like 35 to 45, I mean that's still quite a bit of quest of course, but let's say you did 37 total. That gets you 10 points total. If you have 45 to 54, you get plus 5, and if you have 55 plus, you have no points towards the bad ending. So again, from 0 to 9 will get you 25. From 10 to 24 will get you 20. From 25 to 34 will give you 15. From 35 to 44 will give you 10. From 45 to 54, that will give you 5. And 55 and onwards is no points towards the bad ending. Hopefully that kind of explains that quite a bit better. And karma points are normally given to you by whatchamacallit. Um like by like side quest and whatnot. Also, there is another way to get karma points. I totally forgot about that. Alright, sorry for the pause there. And also, this is why the guide is really important. I totally forgot about this. Not only do side quests do it, but certain events can do it as well. That can give you karma points and minus karma points. For example, with the whole Damien situation with the Badland Baddie side quest, if you choose to evict them, that's how you get negative karma points. Now, by going through the majority of these, you are going to have to go through each and every um, chapter to know the karma points that are gained. If you're going for the Renegade, of course, you're going to want to skip the majority of all of this. Same with, what's another example? Here we go. You want to skip out on all of this, of course, and you want to stay between that 0 and 9 mark. That's honestly the best way to go about it. So, yeah, and I didn't mean to scroll down that far, sorry. Um, but, anyways, though, that's pretty much how that all works out. Now, going on the final thing is the friendship points. So, for example, if you are at the 90-point mark, let's just safely assume that you want Florin dead, you want to see the whole Talon situation that I don't want to spoil, even though I just kind of did, but you'll see for yourself if you get to that point. Um, let's say you want to do that, but you want to do the Karina thing. Let's just say that's what you want to do, for example. You're at 90 points. The best way to go about it is probably just being a crappy person towards one of these people. And yeah, I don't know really what else to say. Because like I know like some people, including myself, I have like max friendship with like all of these characters on my Renegade route playthrough. But if you are wanting to do that, again, you're gonna have to do some math. You're gonna have to rechange a few things, fluctuate your points and whatnot, and again, do the math on your own time, and go about it how you want to go about it. It is what it is. No matter what, in order to do certain things, it's gonna cost something. By doing that, you may have to be a rude person to mom number 2 here. So yeah, or Venom, Aaron. It doesn't matter to. Or you could be a rude person to everybody. It's mainly up to you. But again, no matter what, there are different ways to get the 100 points. The best way to go about it, in my opinion, is to do the ones that give you the majority of the points and to stick with 10 and under for gaining karma points. That's doing the majority of um, not majority of the side quest, but skipping out on the majority of the side quest. If you want a reference for what I did, I'll go through it with you guys. So for karma points, I have beat the thug. That's the guy that's guarding the bridge. Apparently, you get a karma point for that. They might have changed that. I don't know, but I wrote that down like a year or so ago, so I guess that's maybe relevant still. Beat the Thug, beat Gyarados, save Starly, hidden library quest number 1, 2, and 3. I said, are you okay to the eldest because I wanted to. Beat Madam X. I like to beat Madam X every game file that I play. Hidden library number 3. And I have a thing about Karen's death -5 karma. I don't know if that's true or not, but either way, by reading all of that off, that should be 10 and under. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 8 total. Yeah, so that'll give me 25 points total. And for my bad ending game file, if you're serious, if you're curious, sorry, on the like events that I chose to do besides karma points is not save Amber, not save Garbodor, Florin's death, tried to escape, Karen's death, Karina's death, not save Hippowdon, that got me 85 points, plus a 25, that's 110. That's what I did. Now, yes, technically, seeing Karina's death with M2 and whatnot probably would have been fun and very wacky. Maybe it would have been interesting to see Florin and Talon confront us, but either way, that's what I chose, that's what I did, and again, everybody's different. I mean, technically, to be fair, I didn't even know there was going to be a whole different event with Karina and Florin and all of that if you kept them alive, but it is what it is, and I'm not really going to go back to re-change all of that, so yeah. Again, like I've said for the millionth time already, go about it how you want to go about it. It is completely up to you. You're going to have to do the math on your own time. I don't really want to and can't really do it for you, but hopefully that gives you a very simple explanation on how to go about it. Again, I am sorry for probably making the world's crappiest guide. This should not have been 40 minutes long, but hey, it is what it is. I had a lot of fun doing this, but either way, I'll stop there. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comment section below. And again, with the whole Karina and Karen thing, please let me know if you can kill off Karen but keep Karina alive in order for that to work out, or if you need to save both of them. Same thing with Florin. Please let me know how to go about that with his death so people in the comment section below will know what to do in order to get that to happen, and then they can add up the points accordingly and get themselves the bad ending that they want to have happen. Now, of course, if you don't care about that and prefer to do the more easier option, that's totally fine, but still, in order to get the whole Florin's death situation and the whole Karina thing, you are going to have to still most likely make those choices either way, so yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, definitely do appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Good morning.